big announcement happened a couple weeks ago that Stephen Strasburg was retiring, and you all said to me, do the Nationals not have to pay him now? Because he still has so many years left and so much money left to be paid. And I said, of course he's getting paid. There is no player who's hurt who decides to retire, go on the voluntary retirement list for a team because you don't get paid the rest of your contract. You're walking away from the remaining years. So I explained to people that while Stephen Strasburg is retiring, they can take him off the roster. They can take him off the injured list. They don't have to pay for his rehab. It's no longer workers' comp, although workers' comp says you've got to get a player back to where the player could play, even if the player's not playing. But all of that said, totally works out. So they're going to bring him back. You have a retirement party. You give him a present. Maybe it's a razor. There's going to be a table on the field. You're going to see Scott Boras, who's going to be there as a little FU to the learner ownership. Look what I did to you. And nah. It's going to be a celebration. They'll retire his number. Word comes out yesterday that the whole thing's canceled. What could have possibly happened? Is he going to try to come back? Well, you can still do the retirement, but then you can come back next spring training and say, you know what? I feel so good. Thanks for the ceremony. I'm coming to spring training. Look at me go. But apparently, there is some disagreement over what Stephen Strasburg's retirement actually meant. And the disagreement, shockingly, is about money. Is it possible that the Lerner family in Washington, who is selling their team, that they had the understanding that Stephen Strasburg, by retiring, was not going to have any money owed to him? Is it possible that Scott Boras said, no problem, Stephen, retire, but you can't officially retire. We can say you're retiring, but you're not filing the paperwork because you're collecting the money. I got commissions to make. I've got science institutes and performance institutes to fund. Could there have been that level of miscommunication? Are the Nationals that out of it that they thought that somehow Strasburg was going to even walk away from $1? You can renegotiate, and the union would allow it. If Strasburg is due money over the next 3 years, and then he was getting deferred money through 2029, and you want to do a BNIA where you're doing deferred money through 2050, you can do that. Union would approve it. But you know why the Nationals don't want to do that? Because when you're selling your team, you don't want any obligations, any accounts payable out over a large number of years, thinking that the new owner will be more than happy to pay Stephen Strasburg, because the new owner doesn't want to pay Stephen Strasburg. So you want to try to get that liability off the books, because a new owner will come in and say, I'm not paying it, take that money off the purchase price. And then they have to argue and agree on what's called a discount rate, because it's not like they're going to go after the Miller family. Damn it. 8, 12, 69. It's not like they're going to go after the Lerner family for the next 20 years. Every time, we owe Strasburg $5 million. Hey, Mark, can you send me $5 million? Doesn't work that way. The current owner of the team is the one responsible. The current owner of the team will pay the $5 million owed to Strasburg in a particular year. And the current owner of the team doesn't want to chase Mark Lerner, who could be out sipping margaritas on a private island with the proceeds from the sale of the team. So you come up with a way for the Lerner family to pay the entire amount owed to Strasburg up front. But when you're paying out someone over 15 years, $100 million, let's say, that's not worth $100 million today. So it's another point of negotiation where you have to agree on a discount rate. Discount rate is how you calculate what money tomorrow is worth today. And there's 20 different ways to do it, but at the end of the day, it's a negotiation. So, did the Nationals think they had a deal done to deal with this now, and Scott Boras changed his mind? What kind of miscommunication did exist?